Pisces. So I feel this month, and this message I'm about to deliver could have been happening all throughout the year, right? I feel like things have been and are moving slower than you'd like or anticipated, just so Spirit is making sure that you don't drop the ball. And I say that because of how the cards were shuffling. And there was just this feeling of needing to be a little bit more methodical, needing to be a little bit more practical, needing to be a little bit more tuned in to what exactly is happening. And based on the cards that came out, it's because Spirit has really big plans for you. And rather, you have really big plans. And Spirit wants to make sure they go off without a hitch. So sometimes that requires really slowing down and getting into the nitty-gritty and paying attention to everything. First, we have the Two of Swords with the Sun. So I feel like there's been this looming question mark around what would really make you happy. And I feel like these are very long-term goals. I also feel like in some way your happiness has been kind of split or put on the back burner. I don't think that you've been like making what brings you joy on the forefront. I feel like it's more so like, well, can I sacrifice my happiness for this? Or can I be happy while also doing that? Like things like this, things like that. Because the Two of Swords is also indifference. It's not just indecision, it's also indifference. It's this hope to turn a blind eye to something long enough so that you don't have to make the decision. Something else is going to make it for you. But also I feel like with the Sun here, okay, is that whatever you have been indecisive about is going to ultimately make itself very known to you. And this card flew out. You saw that. And I feel like if you've been trying to suppress your happiness, like, or the way in which you're going to receive it, because like let's say you're married, or let's say you're in a long-term relationship that isn't quite going in the direction that your partner wants it to go, or whatever. Things just haven't been perfect, right? And instead of recognizing what needs to shift in order for both of you to be happy, you could have just been going out drinking or just doing avoidant type of behaviors, right? With the devil here. So because down here we have the Ace of Cups with the Four of Wands and the Hierophant with the Chariot, which came out after they flipped out in separate pairs. Underneath that is the Knight of Pentacles. So when it comes to the long term, I feel like now's the time to take small, like I said, methodical steps, because I feel like you've been kind of operating in the energy of like, well, I'm not going to make a decision or make steps towards something unless I can do all of it, right? It's like all or nothing type of energy. But Spirit is saying you need to slowly start making all your decisions based on what brings you joy. Ace of Cups and the Four of Wands, I feel like if you've had any disagreements with the people that you live with, or if your home life hasn't been amazing, or if you have had a rift with your family, I feel like now is a really good time to patch things up and to just kind of start things with a clean slate. And also, obviously, this is a time of holiday season, so it's a really good time to just kind of not bury the past, but I feel like it's time to kind of let the hatchets down and whatnot, and just be willing to celebrate love in its raw form. I feel like now is an important time to also celebrate the people that matter most to you, and just be happy. And I feel like this is about stripping things away and getting to the root of like happiness in a simplistic manner. And with the Knight of Pentacles here, if you don't quite have this yet, or there's not people that you really love and like to spend time with, or potentially this definitely screams marriage as well, and wanting to move forward in your life and achieve things in a more physical manner as well. Spirit is saying that slowly move towards that, and I feel like allowing things to evolve, Because the Hierophant and the Chariot are speaking to needing to recognize what is holding you back from making a commitment, or recognize what you have learned so far about commitment, and in what ways traditional commitment or society's expectations of your commitment feed into or hold you back from achieving what you want. Because I will say, this is beautiful energy, but these two cards are very slow. So I feel like this is about making regimental progress. This can also be about needing to celebrate your own personal commitments and the ways that you've committed to your education, or the ways that you've committed to overall creating progress in your life, and not letting fear take the wheel. All right, Pisces. I want to let you know right now, based on the way that these cards were shuffling, I can say that by the middle of the month, things will be a lot smoother than the first half. Because, like, Spirit had a hard time coming up with the messages, so I feel like first half of the month, communication, granted, Mercury's going to be retrograde, but I feel like the messages are going to be kind of clunky. Getting your thoughts to be, together can be kind of clunky. You might have a lot going on, and there's just like a lot that needs to get done, and you don't really know how to deliver messages or experiences with clarity. The Devil did reappear as your overall energy this month. And it's important to know your demons. Because if we don't know what catches us off guard, if we don't know what triggers us, if we don't know the ways in which we choose instant gratification in an effort to cover a wound, or to not feed our spirit in a healthy way, but in a way that'll just kind of numb us out. If we don't know those things about ourselves, we can't ever overcome them. And this can even be the way that we dull out the voice of change, or dull out the voice of desire for more, and feed the voice of fear. Because fear doesn't always have to be anxiety. Notice how there isn't an anxiety card here. There is no worry card here. It's beyond that, because I feel like the energy that you're dealing with, there's something in your life that allows you to evade the hectic mental space and kind of stay in limbo. All right. And the energy that you're being initiated into this month is the Angel of Balance. And I feel like there's a reminder here that living in any form of extreme, whether it be extreme bliss that rails onto fantasy, or extreme reality that becomes like depressive, none of that is good, or taking a job that has amazing pay but has terrible spiritual benefits, or really drains our life, is not worth the trade-off. Just like getting into some type of field without any that's like spiritual or feeds your spirit, like a creative endeavor, right? But that you've never even tried to launch it before, and you have no money in your savings, and you just try to just go ahead and make that a business. That wouldn't be a very intelligent way to approach that either, right? All of those cause stress, and all of those are going to cause us to go into like a root chakra type of mode, like a survival mode. I feel like this is survival mode too. And when we function from our basic instincts, or allow our basic instincts on like a human, how do I survive? How do I make sure that I'm alive? The people that I care about are alive, and there's food on the table. When we let those kind of things dictate our story and dictate our movements, things don't really flow with enjoyment. And with the sun reappearing in your foundation, Spirit is trying to really pull back the layers so that you can see, one, it's possible to have both. That all forms of pleasure are not bad, just some tip into overenjoyment or overindulgence, right? And that we're allowed to be free, and we're allowed to be childlike, but not to the point that we're immature and can't handle our business. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to everything. And I feel like this month, Spirit is really showing you where you toe the line or where you completely blow the line out and make it completely blurry. What you're being asked to release this month is the Five of Pentacles with the rune Home and the Two of Pentacles with the rune Success. So I feel like it's been a while since you felt at home. I also don't feel like you're spending that much time at home. Some of you may be working 2 jobs in order to make ends meet, or are like work in your social life are really hectic, so you don't spend a lot of time at home. Maybe home is not a really loving, comforting place right now, and you don't really know how to handle it, so you're just kind of out doing your thing. I also feel like it's been a long time since you felt at home in your body and at home in your spirit. I think that it's been a while since you've really seen a semblance of a home, and the feeling of a home as well. You may be like, if you have like, if your home life is not that great, or you grew up in an environment where you had to share between 2 homes, like I feel like some of you are literally couch surfing, or packing a bag and staying somewhere for a couple days, and you go back to your place just to like shower and get more stuff and then leave again. But I feel like with success and the Two of Pentacles being something that you need to release, I do feel that, you know, obviously if you need to work 2 jobs to make ends meet, you know, that's what it is, right? But if you're if you're giving like 2 commitments a lot of your time and energy to the point that you're depleted, or you're never having any time to yourself or to get, you know, connected with Pisces, like to just do whatever you need to do, I feel like Spirit is saying that you can't continue doing that much longer. If this is 2 jobs, but you don't really need one of them just like feeds your desire to go out or to just have like a bunch of money to blow, like I would try to take a rest from that, because I feel like you've been on a like emotional seesaw for a while. Granted, this is Pentacles energy, but I feel like it's like, even if you don't necessarily feel unsettled, I feel like you've physically been moving around a lot to the point where you don't ever sit down and allow how you feel to really hit you. So with the Five of Pentacles here, right, this is some type of struggle, or feeling isolated, right, or feeling like unsupported. And I don't even feel like you're feeling separated from supported people. I feel like you just don't even know, like, I don't even know where my home is, like Nelly Furtado status. Like, I'm like a bird, I only fly away, I don't know where my home is. Like, I just feel like you're kind of wayward. And I think you're afraid to take the time out to really get comfortable with yourself and figure out how to heal it. Maybe you have too much pride with the Devil here, or you don't want to be seen as a failure. Some of you may have gotten fired from a job and like you're not telling your spouse or you're not telling your family. So you like leave the house every day and look busy, or go look for work and you come home. Like, some of you are really doing the most. I don't think that's a lot of you, but that's a few of you. But again, with Angel of Balance here, we can't run ourselves ragged. That's not the road to success. And we can't put on airs to the point that we're depleting ourselves. The door that's now open that was once closed, we have the Six of Cups with the rune Disruption and the Two of Wands. So for some of you, because this is inner child energy, and sometimes the inner child is wounded to the point that we don't know when it's acting on our behalf, like in a way that is projecting. For some of you, I feel like you're coming into a period of time in the second half of the month where you're going to realize, like, someone's going to say it to you, or all of a sudden it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. You're going to realize that you've been letting your wounded inner child in an experience that was very specific to you, not only your upbringing, but you and what you experienced. Doesn't matter how many siblings you have, doesn't matter who else was there. It was like through your own eyes, how you got imprinted at that moment in time in your life. It's going to hit you that programming has literally been what has been keeping you on hold for, again, I'm feeling like it was like most of this year. And what has kept you kind of at the gates instead of out there living or out there acting on something with the Two of Wands here. Because the Six of Cups with disruption, I feel, is this kind of like static that is necessary that all of a sudden comes through. You may have been romanticizing one of the two roads that you can take, whether it be career-wise or otherwise, just like your overall life path. Neptune just today went direct, which is your ruling planet. So you may have just kind of been, granted, Neptune retrograde doesn't affect us like others, but I feel like you may have been, quote, offline for a while and not really feeling or sensing all of your truths or all of what your actions were really coming, like where they were coming from. And with the Six of Cups being disrupted, I feel that you had some type of perspective on the world or on your own personal path, or one of the two options that you were able to take, right, and move your life forward with. That, again, it was viewed through like very rose-colored glasses, very unrealistic expectations, but they were all because of that's how you were raised, or, you know, you saw something happen in your early life that it tainted your view. And I feel like now they're fully coming off so that you can see how that was an unhealthy perspective. So this is like a very positive thing. I feel like this is really good because you're going to be seeing your upbringing or seeing this experience in a way that is going to allow you to move past it and, again, bring more balance to your life, because I feel like there was some very like one-sided energy or lopsided energy. Your current energy as it relates to all of this. In your head, we have the Four of Cups. In your heart, the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords with the rune Prosperity. And in your foundation, we have the Sun. So, again, at the root of everything, there's a new type of freedom and clarity that you need to experience and will be experiencing this month. Again, we can let our inner child sing and dance and play all day, but we can't let it run our entire life. At times, we're going to have to check it or find a proper channel and avenue for its expression. So as the inner parent, or you can even say outer parent of the inner child, we have to create boundaries and healthy avenues for our inner child's expression and usage of its gifts, right? Usage of its best, highest energy. So this is a different kind of co-creation than I think you're used to, and that's the balance I feel like you're being initiated into, is how to co-create with your internal forces. Pisces technically is two fish, right? So one out of the water and one in the water. And with that being said, you have to balance your desire for, you know, ultimate oneness and creativity and just like pure magic and things that other people view as outlandish, with taking that magic and projecting it onto the third dimension and knowing where you can hack the matrix and knowing where you have to play the game. The Four of Cups in your headspace is, you know, I don't think that you're quite yet open to other ways of doing things and other ways of experiencing your desire. I feel like you also are needing to create some kind of change in your social life or in your friend circle that you're not quite ready to absorb. Maybe your friends are kind of unhealthy, or maybe when you get around your social scene, you indulge in habits or experiences that are not super beneficial to you right now. If you have friends that don't know their limits, I feel like now is a time to check that. That's not to say that they can't be your friends anymore, but until you learn your limits, you may have to kind of withdraw. Because of the Four of Cups here, I feel like you've been kind of bored and just disinterested with what's in front of you, but also have been at an odds of what to do about it. And you are going to have to open your mind to different things. With the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords in your heart and the rune Prosperity, I feel like there has been ideas on different things that you can get trained in, or different businesses you could start, or jobs you can go after. Maybe you went to school for something, but you never like actually practiced in that field, things like that. And I feel like you have these ideas that very much could flourish, but they're in their infancy stage. And I think too, not that the ideas are immature, but I feel like people are going to view them as immature and like underdeveloped, because you don't really know how to convey it yet in a verbal manner. And I do like to see these opposite elements here with the Page of Balance as well. And this is saying that if you open your heart and listen to the way that your heart functions, in the sense that you can allow every aspect of yourself to be expressed at once, right? Page of Pentacles, listening, taking initiative, seeing every opportunity as an opportunity to learn, right? And being a student of life. Page of Swords, being observant and having keen insight and picking up on nuances that other people can't pick up on, and prospering in that. So I feel like this is getting to the heart of what you're really good at and what you've been good at for a long time. And you may not have like actual work experience in this, or actual like paid experience in these things, or have actually applied these skills in a tangible way before. But I feel like Spirit is encouraging you to. And I feel like this is, again, showing you how to see yourself more clearly, so you can show up more authentically for yourself and feel more grounded. Because the devil overall, again, I feel like is saying like you can't numb out anymore and just cop out. I feel like this is about not copping out and not numbing out to situations. And what Spirit's advising you to do in this situation to handle this energy is the Ace of Pentacles with the Seven of Swords. And on the Seven of Swords, we have commitment. So if the idea of like doing the same thing for the rest of your life really makes you unsettled or kind of gets you afraid, I feel like you're getting an opportunity to heal that this month. Because with the Ace of Pentacles being combined with the commitment rune on the Seven of Swords, I feel like in some ways, some of you have been avoiding commitment. I mean, this is really the marriage rune, but when it comes to committing to something and being willing to put in our best effort, it doesn't matter where you're applying that, but that's about living up to your potential. And sometimes we want to play dumb, or we want to play below our value, because it's easier and it's more of a cop out. And if we never show people just how much we're capable of, if we disappoint them or we don't come through on something, we feel like, well, I never, you know what I mean? Like I didn't promise you that level, right? And I feel like this is about not letting opportunities slip through your fingers this month, and needing to pay attention to what habits and what places and what people and what types of mental conversations you have with yourself, and what thoughts really make you feel drained and really take the life out of you. Because I feel like if you are hell-bent, like if you were as hell-bent on being kind of checked out as you were as being locked in, and again, this doesn't mean, because I feel like you're still in the process of opening up to the different ways that this best case scenario or best life can unfold. But the Seven of Swords is saying, don't let your fear of commitment or your fear of committing to the wrong thing let a good thing pass you by. And that can be applied in any type of way. But I feel like it's like now is the time. And you have to buckle down. Like that's the energy that I'm getting. Because you don't want to be out here playing yourself. Because you're going to get a level of clarity this month that you have not had in quite some time. And you can let it pass you by. But you're just going to end up feeling stuck again. And I don't think that you want that. And I don't think that you're going to do that because granted, we're going to do a mid-month reading. All that info is in the description box. But it looks like you're going to get it and you're going to maximize the opportunity because going into January, the energy we have is the Strength card with the rune Trust and the King of Cups with the Eight of Wands. So this is straight up you trusting what you're best at, trusting your innate strengths, having courage, right? When you trust in yourself, when you trust in the power of spirit, when you trust in the power of co-creation, when you trust in your ability to listen, right, to the divine and apply. And I feel like this is also about endurance. And again, commitment. When you're willing to endure commitment, or where you're willing to endure something that makes you uncomfortable, that hurts you, but makes you uncomfortable because it's out of your comfort zone, you can create drastic results very quickly with the Eight of Wands here. I feel like you're going to create a certain level of momentum going into the new year that it's going to feel so massive in comparison to what you've been experiencing, because I feel like you're finally willing to really wrestle with your ego and wrestle with that desire to be more carnal, be more, again, root chakra-y. And you're going to understand that there's so much value to having patience with yourself and being patient with your own healing process. The King of Cups and the Eight of Wands here is also saying that during this process, you're also going to become a lot more mature and a lot more secure in your energy. And I feel like you're going to finally feel like you're coming home to yourself and progressing as an overall person. Okay? Guys, it's a really great time for a year ahead reading. If you're interested in that, that's in the description box below as well. And I love you. Talk to you soon. Peace.